Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Naresh Mago and with me is Renuka with the evening news. The headlines. India calls for de-escalation of tensions and maintenance of peace and stability in Taiwan region. Also expresses dissatisfaction over China's technical hold in the UN Security Council to designate Abdul Rauf Asgar as a global terrorist. India and Malaysia conduct first bilateral Air Force exercise. Union Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah stresses on needs for a different strategy to take cooperatives to every panchayat of the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to host medal winners of Commonwealth Games at his official residence in Delhi tomorrow. Department of Consumer Affairs asks all states and union territories to enforce stock disclosure of Tur Pulse under Essential Commodities Act. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh urges students to strike a balance between bravery and wisdom and work in unison to take the nation to newer heights. India ranks third in startup ecosystem and in terms of number of unicorns in the world, says Science and Technology Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh. Today is World Elephant Day. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls for commitment to protect elephants. An initiative Smile launched to make cities, towns and municipal areas begging free. India has expressed concern over the development in Taiwan and urged for de-escalation of tensions by making efforts to maintain peace and stability in the region. Briefing the media in New Delhi today, spokesperson of External Affairs Ministry Arindam Bagchi said, like many other countries, India is also concerned about the developments in Taiwan.
Like many other countries, India too is concerned at recent developments. We urge the exercise of restraint, avoidance of unilateral actions to change the status quo, de-escalation of tensions, and efforts to maintain peace and stability in the region. India's relevant policies are well known and consistent. They do not require reiteration.
India also expressed dissatisfaction over the technical hold by China in the United Nations Security Council to designate Abdul Rauf Asgar, brother of Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar and deputy chief of the Pakistan-based proscribed terror group, as a global terrorist. Reacting to this, Mr. Bagchi said, "It is unfortunate that the international community is unable to speak in one common voice on the collective battle against terrorism."
There should be no double standards in dealing with terrorists. The practice of placing holds and blocks without giving any justification must end. It is most regrettable that genuine and evidence-based listing proposals pertaining to some of the most notorious terrorists in the world are being placed on hold. Double standards and continuing politicization have rendered the credibility of the Sanctions Committee regime at an all-time low.
A contingent of the Indian Air Force has arrived in Malaysia to participate in a bilateral air exercise with their Malaysian counterparts. This is the first bilateral exercise being conducted between Indian Air Force and Royal Malaysian Air Force, RMAF. The Indian Air Force is participating in the air exercise with Su-30 MKI and C-17 aircraft, while the RMAF will be flying Su-30 MKM aircraft. The Indian contingent departed from one of its air bases directly for their destination, the RMAF base of Kuantan. The exercise will give an opportunity to IAF contingent members to share and learn best practices with some of the best professionals from RMAF, while also discussing mutual combat capabilities. The 4 days of exercise will witness conduct of various aerial combat drills between the two air forces.
Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar said that India made a qualitative shift in the last decade from Look East to Act East policy, of which ASEAN is a critical element. The delegation of ASEAN Interparliamentary Assembly today called on the Vice President and Chairman of the Rajya Sabha, Jagdeep Dhankar, at the Parliament House. During the meeting, Mr. Dhankar underlined India's support to ASEAN unity. During the talks, the chairman said people-centric and result-oriented parliamentary diplomacy can contribute to building a peaceful, secure and prosperous Indo-Pacific region. Union Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah has stressed on the need for a different strategy to take cooperators to every panchayat of the country. Inaugurating the day-long National Conference on Rural Cooperative Banks in New Delhi today, Mr. Shah said a 5-year strategy is required for primary agricultural credit societies or PACs in each panchayat, as 2 lakh panchayats are yet to have PACs.
देश में 3 लाख पंचायतें हैं और पैक्स अच्छे चलने वाले पैक्स 65,000 है। कुल मिलाकर पैक्स 95,000। 95,000 को ठीक कर लेंगे ऐसा भी मानते हैं तो भी 2 लाख पंचायतें ऐसी है जहां पर पैक्स का अस्तित्व नहीं। हमारा सबसे पहला काम सभी जिला सहकारी बैंक, सभी स्टेट कोऑपरेटिव बैंक का ये होना चाहिए कि हर पंचायत में पैक्स का 5 साल का एक रणनीति तैयार करें। हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोऑपरेटिव बैंक ने अपने क्षेत्र के अंदर हर पंचायत में पैक्स कैसे बन सकता है, इसकी 5 साल की रणनीति बनानी चाहिए।
Mr. Shah said the government has approved computerization of PACs with the objective of increasing their efficiency, bringing transparency and accountability in their operations. He said rural cooperative banks have played a significant role in connecting rural India with the country's economy. Mr. Shah said Prime Minister Narendra Modi's tenure is a golden opportunity for the cooperative sector.
मैं मानता हूं मोदी जी प्रधानमंत्री है, उससे अच्छा अनुकूल समय सहकारिता आंदोलन को मिलने वाला नहीं, क्योंकि मोदी जी का एक दृष्टिकोण है, विजन है। अगर समाज के अंतिम व्यक्ति तक अर्थतंत्र को पहुंचाना है, हमारे अर्थतंत्र के विकास के साथ साथ उसका भी विकास करना है, तो सहकारिता के अलावे, सहकारिता क्षेत्र के अलावे ये कोई नहीं कर सकता।
Retail inflation based on the Consumer Price Index CPI eased to 6.71% in July this year compared to 7.01% in the preceding month. As per the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation data released today, inflation eased mainly due to easing of prices in the food and beverages section. The government has mandated that the central bank will maintain retail inflation at 4% with a margin of 2% on either side. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will host all the medal winners of the Commonwealth Games 2022 at his official residence in New Delhi tomorrow at 11 a.m. In the recently concluded Commonwealth Games, the Indian athletes won 61 medals, including 22 gold, 16 silver and 23 bronze. Nearly 200 Indian athletes competed for medals across 16 different sports at the Games held in Birmingham from the 28th of last month to the 8th of this month.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh in New Delhi today interacted with the armed forces personnel who won medals in the recently concluded Commonwealth Games. On this occasion, Mr. Singh lauded the contingent for their superlative performance in making the country proud, encouraging them to excel in all future sporting events and bring glory to the nation. Our correspondent reports that 15 sportspersons from the 3 services bagged 6 gold, 4 silver and 5 bronze medals for India out of the 31 personnel who participated in the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. The Department of Consumer Affairs today issued a directive to all the states and union territories, UTs, to enforce stock disclosures by stockholders of Tuer Pearls under the Essential Commodities Act 1955. It has also asked to monitor and verify the stocks. The states and UTs have also been asked to direct stockholder entities to uphold the data of stocks held by them on the online monitoring portal of the Department of Consumer Affairs on weekly basis. The Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution in a statement said that there were reports that some stockists and traders are resorting to restricted sales in an attempt to create artificial scarcity of Tuer pearls to push the price upward. It said the retail price of Tuer has been on upward trend from the second week of last month following the slow progress in Kharif sowing as compared to last year. The ministry said that the government is closely monitoring the overall availability and prices of pulses in the domestic as well as overseas markets to take necessary preemptive measures in an event of unwarranted price rise in the upcoming high-demand festival months. On top of the sufficient overall availability of pulses in the domestic market, the government is currently holding about 38 lakh tons of pulses which are being released in the market to further augment the stocks available in the market.
Union Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports Anurag Singh Thakur has said that the future of the country is dependent on the constructive, collective and collaborative capacities of the youth to shape the new world order. Addressing the Yuva Samvad India at 2047 in New Delhi today, Mr. Thakur noted that India's youth constitute a vital social capital of economic growth. The minister urged the youth to convert the challenges before them into opportunities.
हमें अपनी जड़ों पर गर्व होना चाहिए। हमें अपने जो समृद्ध और संपन्न इतिहास है उस पर भी गर्व होना चाहिए, समृद्ध संस्कृति पर गर्व होना चाहिए और हम जो वेस्टर्न कल्चर की बात करते हैं उनके जो अच्छा होगा वो उसको अपनाने में कोई हर्ज नहीं है, लेकिन हम अपने समृद्ध जो हमारा संस्कृति रही उसको जानने का, उसको समझने का बहुत प्रयास करना चाहिए, उस पर गर्व भी होना चाहिए। अनसंग हीरोज के बारे में जानकारी हम भी देश में जुटा रहे हैं। आप भी जो नई शिक्षा पद्धति लेकर आए, जो न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी लेकर आए हैं, ये देश में 34 वर्षों के बाद न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी भी लाने का किसी ने काम किया है तो नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार ने आपके लिए लाने का प्रयास किया है।
Speaking on the occasion, Union Education and Skill Development Minister Dharmendra Pradhan observed that while the youth have become more aware of their rights, they should exercise them with responsibility. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur today hit out at Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal for spreading rumours and falsehood to divert attention from the corruption charges levelled against the ministers of the Delhi government. Mr. Thakur alleged that Arvind Kejriwal fought the election on the promise to provide corruption-free government, but now he is running a corrupt government. He wondered that if the Delhi's health minister is in jail, then what will the condition of health facilities in the national capital be?
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. India calls for de-escalation of tensions and maintenance of peace and stability in Taiwan region, also expresses dissatisfaction over China's technical hold in the UN Security Council to designate Abdul Rauf Asgar as a global terrorist. India and Malaysia conduct first bilateral Air Force exercise. Union Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah stresses on need for a different strategy to take cooperatives to every panchayat of the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to host medal winners of Commonwealth Games at his official residence in Delhi tomorrow. Department of Consumer Affairs asks all states and union territories to enforce stock disclosure of duopoly under Essential Commodities Act. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh urges students to strike a balance between bravery and wisdom and work in unison to take the nation to newer heights. India ranks third in startup ecosystem and in terms of number of unicorns in the world, says Science and Technology Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh. Today is World Elephant Day. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls for commitment to protect elephants. And initiative Smile launched to make cities, town and municipal areas begging free. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर।
8700014242।
बर्फ से ढके पहाड़,
हवा के साथ झूमते चीड़ चिनार,
झीलों पर तैरते शिकारे,
हरी भरी घाटियों के दिलकश नजारे।
आकाशवाणी समाचार आपके लिए लेकर आया है जम्मू कश्मीर विशेष श्रृंखला एक नई सुबह।
हम बात करते हैं विकास की, निवेश की,
पर्यटन की, संस्कृति की
और रोज हो रहे बदलावों की। FM गोल्ड पर सुनिए हर शुक्रवार रात 9:15 पर आकाशवाणी समाचार की विशेष प्रस्तुति
जम्मू कश्मीर एक नई सुबह।
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has urged students to strike a balance between bravery and wisdom and work in unison to take the nation to newer heights. Felicitating 25 winners of Veer Gatha contest in New Delhi today, Mr. Singh commended their creativity, zeal and enthusiasm.
आप सबने जो कुछ भी हमारे बहादुर जवानों के बारे में लिखा है वो आपकी एंट्रीज को मैंने जानने की कोशिश की है। ये कोई भी आपकी एंट्रीज को देखेगा तो निश्चित रूप से उससे बहुत ही सुखद आश्चर्य होगा। हमारे बच्चे इतने क्रिएटिव हैं, सचमुच बच्चों में आपकी जो क्रिएटिविटी है उसके लिए मैं आपको अपनी तरफ से हार्दिक बधाई देता हूँ। मुझे आप लोगों की पेंटिंग, पोएम, ऐसे और वीडियोज में देखने को मिली। मुझे आजादी की लड़ाई से लेकर आज तक की यात्रा दिखाई दी आपकी एंट्रीज में। इस यात्रा में कितने वीरों ने अपना सर्वस्व बलिदान देते हुए भारत मां के आन बान और शान की रक्षा की, यह दिखाई दी आप सबकी एंट्रीज में।
Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan lauded the Ministry of Defence and the Armed Forces for organizing the Veer Gatha contest. He assured Mr. Singh of exploring the possibilities of including gallant stories of the armed forces in school curriculum. In Jammu and Kashmir, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha today chaired a high-level meeting with the Deputy Commissioners and senior officials in Srinagar to review the preparations for the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign beginning tomorrow. Mr. Sinha said that the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign is a celebration of the spirit of Jan Bhagidari and Jan Andolan. He said schools and colleges are organizing programs recalling the contribution of freedom fighters and unsung heroes of the freedom struggle. He observed that the celebration is turning out to be the biggest Jan Mahotsav on earth, and the journey of our future will now be defined by self-reliance and self-respect.
The Badhe Chalo Lehra Do Har Ghar Tiranga Fehra Do campaign culminated with a grand finale event in the presence of Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur and Culture Minister G. Kishan Reddy at the Talkatora Stadium in New Delhi this evening. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Thakur said, under the reign of previous governments at the centre, no one could dare to unfurl the national flag in Jammu and Kashmir region. However, he said after the abrogation of Article 370 by the NDA government, anyone can freely hoist the tricolour anywhere in the region. He urged the youth to resolve to take India to newer heights in the next 25 years under Amrit Kal.
भारत के नौजवान के हाथ में भी सब तिरंगा आता है, तो भारत का नौजवान ये कल्पना करे, ये प्रण ले, ये प्रतिज्ञा ले कि अमृत काल यानी कि अगले 25 वर्ष अमृत काल ही नहीं, हम अमृत लक्ष्य भी निर्धारित करेंगे और अगले 25 वर्षों में अपने भारत को, भारत देश को महान बनाएंगे और विश्व गुरु बनाने का काम हम सब नौजवान एकजुट होकर करेंगे.
And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we remember freedom fighter Bandhu Singh Srinath, who was martyred on the 12th of August, 1857. He participated in the First War of Independence against the British in the Gorakhpur area of Uttar Pradesh.
Bandhu Singh was born on the 1st of May 1833 in the erstwhile Dumri Riyasat, now in Uttar Pradesh. He used to fight the British with guerrilla war technique. There is a saying that he used to sacrifice heads of enemies in the Tarkulla Devi temple. He was arrested by the British and hanged publicly at Alinagar Chauraha in Gorakhpur on the 12th of August 1857.
It is said that the hangman was unable to hang him 7 times due to breaking of the rope by the grace of Tarkulla Devi. It was successful only the 8th time when Bandhu Singh prayed to Tarkulla Devi.
A memorial to honour Shaheed Bandhu Singh has been built near the temple of Tarkulla Devi near Chauri Chaura, Uttar Pradesh. Every year, people join in a fair at the temple and remember the brave son of the soil, Bandhu Singh. AIR salutes the great freedom fighter.
We also remember Ajmer, who participated in the First War of Independence in 1857. Ajmer organized a group of independence activists during the uprising and led it to fight the British at different places in the Bombay Presidency. He was captured by the British in the course of their attacks and put on trial for aiding and abetting the rebellion against the British.
Ajmer was sentenced to imprisonment for 10 years with hard labor in irons and transported to the Andaman Islands, where he died in detention on the 12th of August 1859. AIR News salutes the brave son of the soil. We also remember nationalist Balwant Singh alias Banta Singh, who was executed on the 12th of August 1915. A resident of Sangwal, Jalandhar, Punjab, Balwant Singh took part in the Ghadar Party activities against British rule. In 1914, he formed a group of revolutionaries among the returning emigrants and was involved in 2 raids in Jalandhar during December 1914 and January 1915. His house was searched by the police and a large quantity of revolutionary literature recovered. He led the attack against the military guard at Amritsar and Nangal Kalan in Punjab. He was arrested in July 1915 and executed on the 12th of August 1915. AIR News salutes the brave. We remember independence activist Balbhim Khataukar, who was born on the 12th of August 1900 at village Pusesauli, district Satara, Maharashtra. The Gandhian slogan of "Do or Die" during the Quit India movement inspired Balbhim Khataukar to join the independence struggle in Khatav Taluka, Satara. On the 9th of September 1942, he joined a demonstration of more than 2,000 under the leadership of Parshuram Gharge. Singing patriotic songs and shouting nationalist slogans, it marched on to hoist the tricolour Congress flag on the Vaduz Kacheri building. The marchers were stopped by the police officials and on refusal to disperse, they were fired upon. The firing resulted in the death of 9 persons and Balbhim Khataukar was one among them. We salute the brave martyrs. We also remember Quit India student activist Lal Padamdhar Singh from district Rewa, Madhya Pradesh. As a student leader of Allahabad University, he led a protest rally during the Quit India movement in Allahabad on the 12th of August 1942. The protesting students were fired upon by the British police that day. In the indiscriminate police firing, Lal Padamdhar Singh lost his life on the spot at the age of 21. AIR News salutes the brave martyr. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Today is World Elephant Day. The day was launched to bring attention to the urgent plight of Asian and African elephants. The elephant is loved, revered and respected by people and cultures around the world, yet we balance on the brink of seeing the last of this magnificent creature. We have a desk report.
World Elephant Day was first observed on this day in 2012. A Thailand-based organization, Elephant Reintroduction Foundation, teamed up with Canadian filmmaker Patricia Sims to mark the observance of Elephant Day. Since 2012, the day is marked with an aim to reach out to people and educate them on the plight of elephants. As per the official website, the day is a rallying call for people to support organizations that are working to stop the illegal poaching and trade of elephant ivory and other wildlife products, protect wild elephant habitats, and provide sanctuaries and alternative habitats for domestic elephants to live freely. So, the message of the day is, elephants are one of the cutest and most friendly animals on the planet, and we must keep them safe. Happy Elephant Day. This is Sarah Mujtaba, AIR News, Delhi.
To mark the occasion, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called for commitment to protect elephants. One would be happy to know that India houses about 60% of all Asian elephants. The number of elephant reserves has risen in the last 8 years. He also lauded all those involved in protecting elephants. Union Minister for Environment and Forest, Bhupendra Yadav, has said that managing human-elephant conflict is a major focus of the government. Inaugurating the World Elephant Day celebrations at the Periyar National Park in Idukki district, he said that no conservation effort was successful without considering the concern of local communities. Science and Technology Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh has said that India now ranks third in the startup ecosystem and in terms of number of unicorns in the world. He said there are currently 105 unicorns, out of which 44 were born in 2021 and 19 in 2022. Delivering the keynote address at DST Startup Utsav at Dr. Ambedkar International Center in New Delhi, Dr. Singh said this decade is expected to bring transformational changes in Indian science, technology and innovation. He said India, in its 75th year of independence, is now home to 75,000 startups. Dr. Singh said Prime Minister Narendra Modi's special focus on science, technology and innovation has fired the imagination of the youth to innovate and solve problems with new ideas. He said the country's startups today are not limited to only metros or big cities, as 49% of the startups are from Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities.
अगर आप स्टार्टअप करने की सोच रहे हैं तो देरी क्यों? हम लेकर आए हैं स्टार्टअप चैंपियंस का दूसरा संस्करण, जहां हर एपिसोड में आप सीखेंगे कुछ खास बिजनेस स्ट्रैटेजीज हमारे स्टार्टअप चैंपियन से। अब से हर शनिवार रात 9 बजे डीडी न्यूज, रात 10 बजे डीडी इंडिया और हर रविवार दोपहर 12 बजे डीडी नेशनल पर देखिए स्टार्टअप चैंपियंस का दूसरा संस्करण। स्टार्टअप करना है तो स्टार्टअप चैंपियन से सीखो।
Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment Dr. Virendra Kumar today launched the SMILE, Support for Marginalized Individuals for Livelihood and Enterprise initiative in New Delhi. The initiative aims to make cities, towns and municipal areas begging free. It also makes a strategy for comprehensive rehabilitation of the persons engaged in the act of begging through the coordinated action of various stakeholders. The ministry has allocated a total budget of 100 crore rupees for the project till 2025 to 26. Through the project, the ministry envisions to develop a support mechanism for holistic rehabilitation of those engaged in the act of begging and built in India where no person is forced to beg in order to survive and fulfill their basic needs. The Sensex and the Nifty today witnessed modest gains. Both key domestic stocks added 0.2% amid positive cues from global share markets. The Sensex closed above 59,400 level and the Nifty ended near 17,700 points.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India calls for de-escalation of tensions and maintenance of peace and stability in Taiwan region. Also expresses dissatisfaction over China's technical hold in the UN Security Council to designate Abdul Rauf Asgar as a global terrorist. India and Malaysia conduct first bilateral Air Force exercise. Union Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah stresses on need for a different strategy to take cooperatives to every panchayat of the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to host medal winners of Commonwealth Games at his official residence in Delhi tomorrow. Department of Consumer Affairs asks all states and union territories to enforce stock disclosure of Turpals under Essential Commodities Act. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh urges students to strike a balance between bravery and wisdom and work in unison to take the nation to newer heights. India ranks third in startup ecosystem and in terms of number of unicorns in the world, says Science and Technology Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh. Today is World Elephant Day. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls for commitment to protect elephants. An initiative, SMILE, launched to make cities, towns and municipal areas begging free. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website, newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.